What's going on, guys? My name's Theoatrix, and today I'm going to be talking about the most AFKable 99s that you can get in Oldschool Runescape. In this video, I'm not going to be talking about the XP rates specifically, but I'm going to rather be talking about how long you can AFK for per method that I'm showing. There are quite a lot of AFK methods in this game, but a lot of them are very impractical, meaning that the XP rates are absolute shit. So in this video, I put together some that are actually pretty decent for XP, and they also are quite AFK. Starting off, I'm going to go through the AFKABLE combat methods that you can AFK for a pretty long time doing and really get decent XP per hour. Before I get into the methods, you need to note here that the logout timer is no longer 6 hours in Oldschool Runescape as of like last year sometime. It's now 20 minutes. So after 20 minutes of AFKing and no clicking or interaction with the game, your character will actually stop attacking the other monster and then you will log out. So the first AFK method here is the Nightmare Zone, and this one's pretty well known to be AFK. You can AFK for approximately 5 minutes at a time. You can AFK for 20, but with 5 minutes each time, you're allowed to re-overload every 5 minutes. And as long as you're using absorptions and rock cakes, you can pretty much stay there for quite a few hours in the same Nightmare Zone room and never have to go out and back in. So it's very AFK. If you use Guffins, you can AFK for about 20 minutes. Or if you don't use overloads and you simply just rock cake down to 1, you can AFK for about 20 minutes, but you need to re-rock cake down back to 1 health just to make sure that you stay there the longest possible. The next method is Bandits, and these ones are 20 minutes AFK as well, and you never stop attacking bandits as long as you have a Zamorak or a Saradomin item on. You could AFK here for 20 minutes with full Guffins, but you're probably going to be taking a little bit of damage, so maybe about 5 minutes is more reasonable for players that aren't using Guffins. The Sand Crabs are another very AFK place that a lot of people go to. Mostly the lower levels though. People with low defense levels go to Sand Crabs because they barely hit anything, so it's usually filled with pures. And Sand Crabs stop being aggressive on you after 10 minutes, so you can AFK there for 10 minutes. Once they stop being aggressive, you have to run about 1 full map length in your mini-map and then come back and they'll be re-aggro. The next AFK skill I'm going to talk about is Slayer, and this kind of ties in with combat as well. But with Slayer, if you're using a cannon, you can fill it up with 30 cannonballs and you can actually AFK for about 2 to 5 minutes depending on where you're standing, how big the monster is, how many times the cannon attacks it, how much health it has. But yeah, you can also AFK Slay with Prayer, provided you have really good Prayer armor. You can click a lot of monsters at places like the Catacombs of Kurend, and you attack them all, and then you can AFK with your Prayer on, and yeah, that usually lasts about 2 minutes. But still, it's AFK. The next method is fishing, and the higher the tier of fish that you're fishing, the more AFK that it is, because it takes longer to get a full inventory. You can AFK from anywhere between 30 seconds to 5 minutes doing these, because the fishing spots do move very randomly. There's no set timer to them. But yeah, if the fishing spot stays there for a long time, you'll be fishing for quite a while. The next AFK skill is cooking, and cooking a full inventory of food at the rogue's den or any fire anywhere. It takes a little bit over 1 minute to complete a full inventory, and that's the same with all fish. There's not really any other AFK cooking methods. This is probably the most AFK one. Now, fletching is another AFK 99 that you can get. Cutting logs into bows is the most AFKable fletching method. Stringing bows is not quite as AFK because you can only do 14 per invent, but with bows you can do 27 in invent, and you can AFK for about 50 seconds by doing this. The XP rates are pretty decent as well, which is awesome. Another AFK method to get to 99 is Herb Lore, and that is making tars. Doing potions themselves is not really that AFK. You do an invent in like 15 seconds. But making tars, you can AFK for 45 seconds, but keep note, the XP rates are a lot worse than potions. The next one is woodcutting, and when you're woodcutting, there's a 1 in 8 chance of a tree that you're chopping to get fully cut down. So in order to make it more AFK, the higher the tier of tree that you're cutting, it's more AFK, because you cut them slower, you get less logs, but you get more XP per log. But since you're getting less logs, there's less of a chance of the tree falling down. With woodcutting, you can AFK anywhere between 30 seconds to about 5 minutes. Now, smithing has quite a few AFK methods. The main thing that pops into people's heads when I say smithing is probably going to be cannonballs. Cannonballs are slow as shit when it comes to experience, so I'm not going to include them. But a pretty viable method is smithing dart tips or knives, And dart tips and knives are actually usually pretty profitable, and you don't really lose much if you do lose money on them. With a full inventory of bars, you can AFK for 1 minute and 22 seconds, which is a very long AFK for a moneymaker and a pretty decent experience. Now, smelting gold bars is also quite AFK. It's about the same time. It's about 1 minute and 25 seconds since you have 1 extra inventory slot. And this is actually really good XP as well, but it can cost about 50 mil to get to level 99 smithing. It's probably a bit more. I haven't really checked. The next AFK-ish method is prayer at a gilded altar, and you can AFK for about 1 minute when you do a full inventory of bones at a gilded altar, which is actually really good. But if you want to get more XP per hour, you'll need to 2-tick or 1-tick, whatever it's called, where you click the bones on the altar, but that is not AFK at all. You still get pretty decent XP at a gilded altar anyway in the AFK methods. So yeah, this is a pretty AFK 99 that you can get. Now, the last ones I'm going to talk about are magic. There are quite a few AFK magic methods, and splashing is a really obvious one, but splashing is like 9k XP an hour or some shit like that, so not worth doing at all. So not really going to talk about that. But splashing on Kraken is actually decently AFK. You can AFK there for 20 minutes without clicking on anything, and the reason why Kraken is so good is because you can actually hit on him while he's underwater and nothing's attacking you. So you deal damage, meaning you get more XP, but you're not taking any damage whatsoever. I made a video all about that. It's a pretty old video that I made, one of my first videos, so if you want to check that out, I'll put a card on the screen now. Another AFK magic method is making magic tablets, or the teleport tablets, in people's houses on the lectern. It's approximately about 1 minute per inventory, which is actually really good. And you make a lot of money per hour doing these as well. The last magic method is string jewelry, and stringing jewelry you can AFK for about 1 minute as well, and the XP rates are about 140k magic XP an hour, which is insanely good, but you do lose quite a bit of money doing this. But since it's so AFK and such good XP, it's actually a very viable option. Anyways, guys, that's all of the AFK methods that I could think of. If you think of any other ones, put them in the comments, and I'll pin it if I think it's really good, and I'll be sure to reply to some comments on what I think about your AFK methods. But anyways, that sums up for this video, so now it's time for clip of the day. Today we have a bit of Skatizo pet luck in the clip of the day segment. Firstly, from Iron Legends, he got the Skatizo pet on his first ever kill, as well as the Onyx bolt tips drop, which is actually really decent for money. Well done on your pet on the first kill, man. Now, Sogard, or Sogard, I don't know how to say it, but anyway, he got the Skatizo pet on his first kill as well. You lucky bastards, I wish I had that pet. It looks so sick. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you did learn something, be sure to leave a like on the video. Also, subscribe if you're new. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day. We'll be right back.